Just a quick sky.
Oh, yeah. All right.
I tell you what, a person who believes that this wasn't set up by our own government is an idiot.
Hello everybody, today I'm the presenter of the Blue Group and we'll be talking about sentences. Okay. What is a sentence? A sentence consists of two parts, two main elements, and four types. Two parts of a sentence is the subject and the predicate. We'll be talking about it furthermore in our presentation. The two main elements of a sentence, the phrase and the clause. Okay. Now, the two parts of a sentence. The subject may be a single word, noun, pronoun, or noun phrase. Examples: she laughed, he coughed. The predicate, a word group that comes after the subject to complete the sentence. There's a main verb and a helping verb. Like for example, for Sarah will sing. Will is the helping verb. Two main elements of a sentence is a phrase. Okay. The first part of a sentence is a phrase. A phrase does not have a subject or a verb. Okay, example. Saturday became a cool, wet afternoon. A cool, wet afternoon is the phrase. There are 8 types of phrase, which are the noun, verb, gerund, infinitive, appositive, participial, preposition, and absolute. Okay. The second part is a clause. A clause is a group of organized words that contain a subject and a verb. For example, Paul eats very fast. Eats is the subject, eats is the verb, Paul is the subject. There are 2 types of clauses that we'll be also talking about: independent clause and dependent clause. Okay, the independent clause is a group of organized words that contain a subject and a verb and completes a full thought. For example, Sarah went to the mall. That is an independent clause because it can stand alone. He slept on the desk. That also can stand alone. And as you guys can see, Sarah went to the mall. Went is the verb. Sarah is the subject. And he slept on the desk. He is the subject, and slept is the verb. The dependent clause. A dependent clause, or as we call it, subordinate clause, it's both right, is a group of words that contain a subject and a verb, which does not complete a full thought. For example, before he went, you could never know who he is or where he went. When you go, you can never know when, who went, or where did you go. There are 3 types of the dependent clauses that sadly we won't be talking about, which are the adverb clause, adjective clause, and noun clause. Now, we'll be talking about conjunctions. A conjunction is, as I like to express it, is a glue that connects words together. For example, Maria studied for the test, so she got a good mark. Emily went shopping, and she bought a nice dress. So as you guys can see, so in the first sentence is the conjunction, and in the second sentence, and is the conjunction. And do not forget the fanboys, which are for, and, nor, but, so, or, so, yet, and yeah. There we go. And the 4 types of sentences. A simple sentence can go. You could refer it as an independent clause, since it has a subject and a verb and completes a full thought. For example, Hannah waited for the bus. Hannah is the subject, waited is the verb. Sarah and Hannah called a taxi. Sarah and Hannah are the subjects and called is the verb. Now, as I said, a simple sentence can be referred to as an independent clause. A compound sentence is made up of two independent clauses and are connected using conjunctions. Hannah, for example, Hannah waited for the bus, but the bus was late. Another one, Sarah and Hannah called a taxi, yet They didn't go home. Now, part 2. A complex sentence contains independent and one or more dependent clauses. For example, because Sarah and Hannah called a taxi, they went home. Another example, after Hannah waited for the bus, she was chased by dogs. Now, a complex compound sentence contains 2 independent clauses and one or more dependent clause. Do not get confused between the complex compound and the other one, because this one contains a dependent clause, the other one only contains 2 independent clauses. For example, in the complex compound, although Hannah likes shopping, she doesn't have time to go, so she didn't. As you guys can see, although Hannah likes shopping as an independent, she doesn't have time to go as an independent, so she didn't is an dependent. After I went home, I took a shower and did the homework. After I went home is independent. I took a shower is independent, and she did the homework is the dependent. You guys can also, it's not a must for you to put the independent clause on the first place. You can actually just put it in the back of the sentence. It's normal. Now I'll be giving out my pop quiz. So Minna. And please don't forget to write your names and the date. What? Does anyone have this? Are you guys all done? Okay, thank you very much for listening. I hope you understood my PowerPoint, actually our PowerPoint, and thank you very much.
This is an Islamic school. I'll talk about tomorrow. Yeah, that's rolling the hard way. We don't want to roll quite that hard. We want to get one of them little minibuses. What's up?
Tell you what, a person who believes that this wasn't set up by our own government is an idiot.
Everybody's gone out of their mind.
Welcome to Mr. Quick's class.
Welcome to Mr. Quick's class.
Welcome to Mr. Quick's class.
Welcome, Mr. Quick's class.
Oh, yeah. All right. All right.